These rectangles are not lakes. They are evaporation ponds in Chile's Sala de Atacama, and they show something unusual: the clean energy economy is visible from orbit. Before this is a battery story, it is a geography story. The colors are not decoration, they are water, salt, minerals, waiting time, and industrial control. That is why this landscape matters far beyond Chile. No longer drawn only by flags. Chemistry.